Welcome back to Wrench and Reason. And in my last video, we talked about the basics of choosing the right car. Your use case, new versus used, the features that actually matter, and how to think about your budget. So let's put that into practice and imagine you've got about $50,000 to $55,000 to spend. Do you buy a used sports sedan to drive as a family hauler, something like a BMW M5 or a Porsche Panamera? Or do you go for a brand new family SUV like a Toyota Highlander or maybe a Honda Pilot? On paper, the prices look about the same, but the ownership experience, that's a very different story. So let's start with tires and brakes. On that used sports sedan, you're getting low profile tires. They look great and handle well, but shorter sidewalls mean less cushion and faster wear. Performance tires also use softer rubber compounds. That's what gives them grip, but it also means they're worn out in 20 to 30,000 miles at best, and that's about half the life of the SUV tires. And you can't forget size, because sports sedans often run 19, 20, even 22-inch wheels, and so bigger wheels mean more expensive tires, and a set can easily cost $1,500 or more. When you compare that to the SUV, taller sidewalls, harder rubber, longer tread life, a set might cost $900 and last 40 to 50,000 miles. Brakes tell the same story. Most family SUVs use floating calipers. It's a simple one-piston, affordable to replace design. Maybe $400 to $600 for pads and rotors altogether. Sports sedans, well, they use fixed calipers with multiple pistons squeezing from both sides. That gives you better bite, there's less fade, but they're much more expensive to maintain. And if your car has carbon ceramic brakes, which some high-end sedans do, a full replacement can run $5,000 to $10,000. That's a bill SUV owners rarely see. Next up is thinking about insurance cost and registration. Insurance companies don't just look at what your car is worth today, but they look at what it costs to repair. That M5 or Panamera may be worth $55,000 right now, but it started life as a $120,000 car. So the parts and labor are still priced like a luxury flagship. And that means claims history. Cars like that rack up more accidents and more speeding tickets, so rates climb. Now look at that SUV. Insurance companies love family vehicles. There's safer driver profiles, lower repair costs, cheaper parts to fix. That all means lower premiums month after month. Registration can sting too in states where fees are tied to the value. The luxury badge on the hood carries extra tax. And if you live somewhere with annual property taxes, you'll pay more every single year for that sports sedan. Now, let's talk about keeping the car on the road. A used luxury sedan isn't maintained like a Camry. It's built with high-end materials and complex systems, and that shows up when you have repair bills. So oil changes, synthetic oil only, usually $120 to $150 each. Direct injection, well, that's great for efficiency, but it can cause carbon buildup and sometimes requires cleaning every 60 to 80,000 miles. Turbochargers, fantastic for power and fuel economy, but if one fails, it's thousands to replace. And then there are the electronics. Luxury sedans are loaded with sensors and software. Crack the windshield on a Panamera and you might spend $1,500 or more once you factor in recalibrating the cameras and the radars. Now, compare that to your SUV. Oil changes, cheaper. Brakes, cheaper. Repairs, far more predictable. And any local shop can work on it without specialized tools or training. Here's the key lesson. The sports sedan may cost the same as the SUV today, but its parts and service were designed for a $120,000 car. Finally, let's talk depreciation and resale value. That used sports sedan has already taken the big hit. It's down from $125,000 to about $55,000. From there, the curve flattens out. It'll still lose value, but not nearly as fast as it did in those first few years. That brand new family SUV, on the other hand, takes the steepest part of the curve right up front. You can lose 10% of the value or so the moment you drive off the lot, and another big chunk in the first 2 to 3 years. But after that, things start to level out. Now, diminished value from an accident affects both vehicles. Whether it's a used sports sedan or a new SUV, a Carfax accident history will knock thousands off the resale. The real difference is in the normal depreciation curve. The sedan has already done its free fall while the SUV still has that sharp initial drop ahead. So here's the takeaway. A used sports sedan and a brand new SUV might both cost you $55,000 on paper, but the hidden cost, not even close. The SUV's bills match its sticker price. The sports sedan's bills match the engineering and the components of the car that once cost 3 times as much. That's why understanding hidden cost is just as important as understanding the sticker price. And in my next video, I'll break down one of the most important features on modern spec sheets, direct injection. We'll learn how it works and why it completely changed the way engines are designed. This is Wrench and Reason, where we cut through the hype and explain cars with clarity. Stick around, and if you missed my last video, go check it out after this one.